Hey guys, it's Deannette with Pear Hill Farms. I've got some news. We have received our protein genetic tests results back on April. I don't know if any of you watched our video on gathering April's tail hair to send off for testing for A2A2 to see if she was A2A2 milk. And I told you in there, why would you want A2A2 milk? And it's kind of a new thing coming up, especially since people have started having a lot of lactose intolerance and just GI issues when they drink milk. And so people are starting to ask about it. They've done the research on this A2 milk. It causes less bloating. It's easy on your digestive tract. It doesn't irritate it as bad. And so I'd never really thought about testing April because we really weren't going to sell her. We have had her for goodness gracious 7 years, and we'd put her up for sale. And I had a lady from Tennessee contact me that was interested in her, and she wanted to know, was she A2A2? Well, I had not done a lot. I had heard some of the talk about A2 milk, and so naturally I had to start doing some research on it. And how do you gather information to test your cow for A2A2 milk? And there was really not a whole lot out there that I could find. And I actually thought it was a blood test. And I come up on this UC Davis vet medicine laboratory that does a genetic test. And they don't only do this genotype testing. They can test your cow for various diseases. And you pay a fee and send a sample off. They have how-to videos on how to collect and stuff like that for different testing. And so we sent her tail hair, whatever you want to call it, we sent it off, and we paid the fee, and it was about, I think we paid $75 for it to be tested. And because this lady was really interested in wanting to know, and I felt like if she was A2A2 milk, this lady would purchase her. Because that is the best for people that are lactose intolerant or have a sensitivity to dairy products. So anyway, it took several weeks. It was through the holidays and stuff like that, and we finally got our email in the mail, and I wanted to share with you the results of it. It's kind of, at first I really didn't understand it, and I'm gonna see if I can explain it to you on how it's broken up. Let's see if I can turn this around to you. So what you have is if you can see, it tells you who your cow is, and you have a beta casein result, you have a kappa casein result, and then you have a beta lactoglobulin result. Now, I don't know what all that means. And so then it gives you an interpretation of each one. And the result for the beta casein result, which would tell me if she was A2A2, for April was A2/B. And so in further reading the interpretation down here, it says in the A2 genotyping interpretation, in the A2C nomenclature for A2 genotype, and the beta casein above corresponds to A1, A2. And so I was like, darn, she's A1, A2. I knew her dad was an A2. I didn't know about her mom. And so that was where we were trying to figure out. So, for the beta casein, she was A1. And it goes on to say milk yield and protein content. It says the A2 variant has been shown to have a positive association with milk yield and protein content. The expanded beta casein test reflected in this report detects variants of A1, A2, A3, B, C, D, E, F, G, H1, H2, I, K, and L. Now, I don't know what all that means on that interpretation. But what I did gather was she is an A1, A2 milk cow, dairy cow. It also says based on the amino acid present in position 67, these variants can be classified into two groups, A1 and A2. Variants in the A1 group, which is the histidine, are A1, B, C, F, and G. I know I'm probably speaking foreign to you. I have no idea. Variants in the A2 group, the proline group, are A2, A3, D, E, H1, H2, I, K, and L. The levels of bioactive peptide beta-casomorphin, which is the BCM7 I was telling you about, in that is produced, is higher in A1 milks, and it tells us here it's produced from metabolism of beta casein and it's higher for variants in the A1 group than in the A2 group, and we knew that already. I already knew that. So higher levels of BCM7 have been associated with negative effects in humans, and I've shared that with our previous video. Basically, for her beta casein, she has A1 and A2 beta caseins in her milk. Now, but on the kappa casein interpretation, it says on here, and what her genetic test report on it was a BB. And so I was trying to what does that mean? I have no idea what it means. So I was reading in the interpretation, it says the protein yield and percentage. The A variant and the AA genotype are associated with higher milk production. Okay, so she's not an AA, so she's not going to have a higher milk production. The B variant and the BB genotype are associated with increased milk protein and casein content, and better cheese yield. And it says relative to protein content and cheese production, BB is the most favorable genotype. AB is intermediate and AA is least favorable. So I guess for the kappa casein result, she's a BB, and so I took that as that for that part, her milk would be perfect for cheese production, to make cheese. And then the beta lactoglobulin interpretation, it said milk yield and whey protein content. I guess that's what that means. An A variant is associated with increased milk yield, which we knew that based on the other interpretations that she was not going to yield a high milk content. The B variant is associated with increased casein and fat content and is favorable for cheese production. So the A is associated with increased milk yield and whey protein content. So she scored an AB. Don't know what that means. She's gonna, on that milk yield and whey, maybe she's gonna have a lot of whey in her milk. But I gather based on this test that she's an A1, A2, which is what I was afraid of. I was hoping for an A2 because I knew that was going to be a sale. But she still makes good milk, She's not an A1. She's an A1, A2, which would be better for us as well. So anyway, I wanted to share with you the results of our test. Again, this was UC Davis Vet Medicine Laboratory in California. I'll try to put a link down somewhere, and so that you can see how to get up with them. And you can go to their website and learn a lot about them. But I appreciate y'all going along with us on this journey as we gathered the stuff we needed to get the results, and being patient with me as we waited for these results. Not real sure what we're going to do with April now. Denise and I today said, well, you know, we could keep her and milk her for her butter, and then we could do October Grace for her milk. I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to talk to the guys, and we're going to see what we need to do with April. I definitely don't just want to sell her to anyone. I want her to go to a good home if we do decide to get rid of her. But as Stuffy always says, a simple life is a much more enjoyable life. I appreciate y'all watching us today on this video, and y'all stay tuned for more upcoming videos. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.